I like turtle. I like turtle. Tom beat. 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 Turtle. I like turtle. I like turtle. I like turtle. I like turtle. I like.
All right, what's up, Turtle Riders? How are we all doing out there tonight? Hopefully good. I'm going to go ahead and I am going to change our microphone over here to the more crisp sounding microphone. If you'll just give me a moment, we'll go to this one. And that sound good? All right. So welcome, folks. How's the audience looking tonight? I have just gone ahead. Let's actually look at the audience. Let's see. I don't think we're going to break 1,200. I don't think we're going to break 1,200 tonight like they did on the Bristol crew the other night. I can't compete with that. I'm not going to lie. But I'd like to get to 100. I think 100 would be a fair goal because, I don't have auditors or anything like that, but I have hot takes. That's all I can give you guys. Hot takes on the local issues and what's going on in the news and whatnot. And so before we get started, I've shared this link to this show on the 2 pages that I'm currently operating. It's always changing around here. You know how it is. Right now, I shared it on the Cynthia Marie Sanchez page because Clarence Woods Emerson, folks, pour one out for your homie. Might not be back ever again. We don't know. It's a weird situation we got going on with him. Normally, when we're suspended, we can go on there and, I can see how many days I got left in the hole. With Clarence now, I go to post something, and it just says, you can't post. Let us know if there's an issue. And it just doesn't say how long it's for or anything. So I don't know what's going on with that. I've also shared it to the Turtle Boy Sports Forever page. I will not brag about how long the page has been around for or get confident about anything like that because I've learned from experience now that pretty much nothing lasts very long. The pages don't last more than 3 months now. So the odds that that page will be around much longer are slim to none. We'll just start new pages. No biggie. Whatever happens, happens. You guys know where to find us. Subscribe by email. That's what I recommend the most. Just subscribe by email or, follow us on Twitter. But email is the easiest because we control that. Or just go to the website every day. Download the app. It doesn't matter. The app should be back in the App Store. It was down for a couple days, but it should be back. So just a reminder, guys, none of this is possible, guys, without our advertisers. So first and foremost, let's talk about our good friends over at Andrew Porter Contracting in Charlton. You know them by now. They do fabulous work. Their specialty is roofing, and coincidentally, roofing is the most important investment you guys can have on your homes. If you're looking to buy a home, don't buy a home that needs a new roof. Right? If you do, make sure you get a good deal from your realtor about a price reduction because that shit, it needs to be done right, and it's not cheap. It's literally the most expensive investment. So when you get it done, you want it done right, and you want it done for a fair price. And luckily, that's what our friends over at Andrew Porter Contracting do for a specialty. They do a lot of contracting, but their specialty is roofing. And they have 5-star ratings with Angie's List, Google, you name it. They're an Owens Corning preferred vendor. They got the whole gambit on excellent online reviews. So I highly recommend them. And what you can do if you like the Bruins, guys. I like the Bruins too. They're the best team in the NHL right now. How about that? How'd that happen? The Bruins are the best team in the NHL right now. And they're just giving away free Bruins tickets like it's nothing. So go to their page and like it. By doing so, you're automatically entered to win a free pair of Bruins tickets. They're legit. They give away free shit every month. They're very, very generous. So make sure you show them some Turtle Boy love. All right. So how are y'all doing out there tonight, folks? Before we get talking about anything, let me just talk about the election real quick. Are you guys watching the election results pour in right now? Because I'm fast. I love this shit. Oh, thank you very much, Ed. Thank you for the Hadassah. We're going to talk about that too. But I don't know. You watching the election results over in the UK, Laura? I don't know if you guys are interested in this sort of stuff over there, primaries. But it's very exciting. Of it, obviously, Manch Vegas and Nashua. are going to be your more liberal parts of the state. But then you got a lot of rural areas that are more conservative, etc. And it's all been building up to this, right? It's our first real primary. I don't count Iowa. That's fake. That's a bunch of people in a gymnasium going at the corners. Nobody knows how the fuck it works. New Hampshire's like the first real election. And it is an absolute disaster what is happening right now to our good friend Pocahontas. It is it's a disaster for me because I'm Team Pocahontas. I've said this from the beginning. We should all be getting behind Pocahontas, not because we like her, but because we know how hateable she is, don't we? Living in Massachusetts, we know this. The rest of the country hasn't experienced her like we have. Her obnoxiousness, the ridiculous things she says, her fakeness. Right? It would be a wet dream for Donald Trump. But it was 3-4 months ago she was a leading candidate, and then she started talking about like paying for inmates transgender surgeries, and everything was about transgenders with her. And believe it or not, it's just shocking. It doesn't really appeal to people in middle America. They're not really that interested in hearing about how their hardworking tax dollars should go towards paying off student loans of a bunch of douchebags who went to BU and majored in transgender Afro-Caribbean dance theory, and now they can't get jobs, and they're whining about having $200,000 in debt. And some hardworking guy in Ohio is supposed to be like, yeah, I'll pay that off for you, no problem. Because fuck it, you told me to. Whatever. So she's gone. She's done. She's at 9% right now. It is an absolute debacle, right? Getting 15 or 20% in Iowa, whatever she got, that was one thing. She's not from there. This is the state she's like, literally southern New Hampshire is Massachusetts. It's a Boston market. And she is getting freaking smoked. 9% she's at right now. Bernie, last I saw, was leading. We all knew Bernie was going to win this New Hampshire primary. He's at like 28%. Buttigieg, I think, is 23%. And Klobuchar is coming out of nowhere at 20%. I'm going to talk about her in a moment. She's relevant all of a sudden. Thank you, Johnny Mac. I appreciate that. And so those are the three. And then Elizabeth Warren's in fourth at 9%. Sleepy Joe Biden, 8%. He has already left the state. His campaign headquarters don't even have a television in it. He bounced. He went to South Carolina because he knows white people don't like Joe Biden. That's just a fact of life. Black people love him. I don't know why, but white people don't like him. White people like Bernie for some reason. So he's gone. He ditched the state. He gave up. He's going to the state with more black people in it, South Carolina. He's going to try to win that one, try to get back into this. But he's done. I mean, he's done. 8%. And Warren has to drop out. She has to. I mean, who would donate to? It's all about money now. Like, these people have to spend so much money. And what kind of Democratic donor in their right mind will give $1 to Elizabeth Warren now? You're pissing money away. She can't win. She's not viable. People clearly do not like her. Her campaign is officially over. Goodbye, Pocahontas. And that's a goddamn shame, because I wanted to vote for her on Super Tuesday. I was planning on it. I was going to vote for the weakest link. Speaking of, right? As we go down the line, Michael Bennett dropped out. Not that nobody cares about him, but he was still in it. And our boy Andrew Yang has dropped out too. He's another disaster. He was a guy who was polling at 6-7% in some places. He can't even get 1% in Iowa. I think he got 1% in Iowa, maybe 2% right now in New Hampshire. He's done. The Yang gang is over. Even my girl Tulsi is polling like 3-4% above him. Goodbye, Andrew Yang. Goodbye, Michael Bennett. Goodbye, Pocahontas. Goodbye, Joe Biden. They're all done. You can throw them away right now. We have Klobuchar coming on strong, and we've got Mini Mike Bloomberg. Those are the 4 candidates left. That's it. No one else can win. It's over for the other ones. All right. And I'm writing them off. Officially, you guys know I don't make calls like this unless it's official. It is official. They are done. Those are the only 4 left who can possibly win this election. All right. And, all right, so the one I think people are saying, obviously, of those 4, the one I would be most opposed to is Bernie Sanders. Without a fucking doubt, Bernie Sanders. Because Bernie Sanders is not for grown-ups. There's a reason his following is all 18 to 24-year-olds. Because he attracts the stupidest people. No offense to people that like him. But if you do like him, you probably don't know that much about him. Like, he literally panders to freaking morons. He's got no plan for anything. And then he just yells, "Revolution! Oh, everything's going to be free, and then we're going to have health care for everybody, and it's a human right, and housing is a human right, and not just as a human right, it should be owned by the government, and we're going to tax the rich, and the 1% are finally going to pay their fair share. Do you hear me? There's a reason that goddamn AOC is his spokesperson. That says it all. AOC, she's a fucking joke. Nobody takes AOC seriously. Ilhan Omar. So I understand why he would be the most offensive. He's the one I would least see president, because his supporters are the worst people on earth. They're fucking awful. I can't say enough terrible things about them. He's terrible. However, I will say this. If it goes, as I said, and all those people drop out, right, then we want Bernie to win. You have to want Bernie. You have to root for Bernie, because he has the least odds, I think, in my opinion, just because he's going to scare the shit out of old people, and old people vote in hard numbers. Old people don't want to be like, they've saved their whole lives, they've worked their ass off, they're retired, and all of a sudden they're like, yeah, we're going to take all your money and we're going to pay it off some dipshit college kid who majored in, communications at freaking Berkeley, and we're going to pay that shit off. So thanks, Grandpa. I mean, nobody's going to like that. It's going to be fucking terrible. The one that we should fear, the two that we should fear, right? Mayor Pete, I'm not that worried about, even though he's very charming, isn't he? Mayor Pete can be very charming sometimes when he quotes scripture and all that stuff. And he's from Indiana and all this stuff, and he's white gay Obama, blah, blah, blah. I do think the fact that he's gay is going to hurt him. I do. I'm not against it, because I think that's bold, brave, and beautiful. I think that's a wonderful thing. That he likes it that way. I think that's fantastic. Can't say enough great things about it. But no pun intended. But that's gonna scare. Like, some people aren't gonna like. It's gonna be weird. It's gonna be fucking weird. I'm not gonna lie. When he was like on stage, first of all, his fucking husband's name is Chasten. Could you come up with like a more whitewashed name than that? Goddamn Chasten. So Chasten, he invites Chasten on stage after their big rally the other night. And it's like, is he going to kiss him? Right? I mean, I'm thinking that. And he didn't. And anybody else in that situation, their husband or their wife comes up and they kiss him, right? And he didn't do that. He didn't kiss Chasten. I do think there's something subliminal there that, like, even he thinks that America's not ready to see that. Even though we are. We all think it's bold, brave, and beautiful, don't we? We all agree? But I think there's something subliminal with a lot of Americans where they're just going to be uncomfortable with that. And they're going to be like, that's kind of fucking weird. Right? I'm against it. I think those people are bad. I think shame on you. Shame on you. You should welcome that. I think it's a great thing. However, I'm just stating facts. So I think some people are going to be uncomfortable with that. Sorry, not sorry. Anyway, so Pete, I'm not worried about. Plus, black people don't like him. And that kind of matters too. So the two you got to worry about, in my opinion, and why I think this was a bad night, right, is because Amy Klobuchar is likable and Mini Mike Bloomberg is richer than Trump. So that's and that matters, because he's gonna have all this fucking money, and Mini Mike Bloomberg doesn't do the whole social justice bullshit and the whole transgender thing. He just talks about the economy because he's a businessman. He gets it, right? We don't want that. We want the person who's up there talking about letting boys play on girls' track teams. That's the ones we want. We don't want the guy coming up there and talking about the economy. No. That's something Americans actually care about. So I am worried about Mini Mike a little bit, and I'm worried about Amy Klobuchar, because guess what? Amy Klobuchar comes across as like the grandmother who takes you to McDonald's, doesn't she? When she's fun. Elizabeth Warren comes across as the grandmother who makes you put your drink on a coaster. That's the big difference between those two. Amy Klobuchar seems sweet and Midwestern and likable, and she's not abrasive. I don't really know how she got elected in the first place, because she's so kind of like calm and lukewarm. But that's not gonna offend people. What we want, guys, Trump people, is we want the most offensive Democrat you can come up with. Just people that just like offend you. Bernie offends the shit out of me. Elizabeth Warren offends the shit out of me. Kamala Harris did the same. Beto, they all did the same. They all offended me. But they're dropping off. It's not good. We don't want Amy Klobuchar to rise. We want Pocahontas to rise. So this is bad news. Not a good night. It might have seemed like a good night, but it's not a good night. So, anyway, that's that. Let me talk about the next topic. and that is the issue. Let's have a debate here about what's the more fucked up town right now, Hull or Andover. That's what I put in the title for this, right? Because particularly their public school systems. Because there's a story today out of Andover, Mass. Andover, Mass, if you recall, is one of the wealthiest towns in Massachusetts, right next to Lawrence, of all places. We did several blogs on them over the years, and they all involve like their corrupt superintendent who was propped up by their corrupt school committee. And this dude, right, Shelley Berman is the superintendent there. If you recall, the hockey coach a few years ago, Chris Kuchar, one of the best in the state, literally built that program from nothing and made them one of the best teams in the state. All of a sudden got suspended 2 years ago because he allegedly abused kids by not letting them have food and water or whatever. And I investigate it, and I find out this is all a lie. It's just one kid who was a freshman and his father, who was a field country music singer, lying about these kids not getting food. They showed me receipts when they went to Panera Bread, when they got food out there. They showed me like the bus with coolers full of shit in them. It's like, give me a break. So it was all a lie. And DCF wastes their time investigating this because the superintendent takes it seriously. And I'm like, what the fuck? This doesn't make any sense. He was exonerated. Nobody ever said sorry to him or anything like that. And we find out that the superintendent's son used to play for the team. He was a senior on the hockey team after he moved there from another state. The dad moved around a lot and gets paid like $228,000 a year, by the way. Not too shabby. So the kid sucks. The senior sucks. He's no good. And the coach wants to play a younger kid, a freshman, because that's the future of the program, and he's just as good or whatever. So he puts him in, and this guy writes a 6-page letter just detailing all the ways the coach, who's winning nonstop, one of the best coaches in the state, how he doesn't know what he's talking about because he doesn't play his son Dale. Of course, his name is fucking Dale, too. Oy. And he shits on a kid to her in the letter, too. A 6-page letter that he did not think would surface. But guess what? I get a hold on it because that's what Turtle Boy does. We get a hold of shit. So the coach ends up getting fired, right? And this is after another scandal happens months later involving the freaking volleyball team when another shithead kid doesn't want to get subbed out of the game, refuses to come out, and then the coach yells at him and benches him, and the coach gets fired for bullying, right? And so this is a culture there at Andover where spoiled little shithead kids can disrespect adults, say whatever they want, do whatever they want, and they won't get in trouble. The coach will get in trouble. That is the culture that is set in those stories. So enter today, we see another story. Tewksbury High School goes to Andover High School for a basketball game, and there's a gentleman in the crowd who is on the Tewksbury School Committee. And he is, I assume, a parent of, I looked on his Facebook, it looks like he has kids that are of school age and play sports and stuff. So I assume his kid's on the team. Well, the kid, he doesn't the dad doesn't get to see most of the kid's game because he gets arrested. Why? Because this is what the Lowell Sun said, and this is what the Andover police lieutenant, who they interviewed, kind of corroborated. So the police had a chance to update the story if there were facts missing, and this is what they went with. The story was that the guy was sitting somewhere in the vicinity of Andover students when one of them stole his coat, right? And they go in the administration or the police, somebody gets it back for him, brings it back, but they're like, can you leave because you're like kind of like instigating these kids by being here because you're a Tewksbury parent. And the guy's like, his friend's like, yeah, sure, whatever. He's like, I'm not. The other guy's like, I'm not leaving. You look at the other guy's page, the school committee guy, he's a Trump supporter. And one thing I know about Trump supporters is that they don't like to be told what to do. They don't like to be told, you have to do this. Like, they're big into freedom and shit. And so you're not, and I see this guy. It's like, this guy, I could tell I like this guy. He's not going anywhere. He's my kind of guy. So he's not going anywhere. Even though his name's Keith, but I'll forgive him for that. First honest Keith I've ever seen. Still waiting for an honest Shane. So Keith refuses to move and ends up getting arrested by the Andover police officer. And that's it. The kid who stole his coat does not get kicked out, does not get arrested. This is not an issue for some reason in Andover. The kids in Andover can do whatever the fuck they want to do, and the adults, like this guy, pay the price if they don't get in line. Like the hockey coach had to get in line. He had to take his suspension, right? This guy's not getting in line because he doesn't have to do shit. It's like, this is a free country, motherfucker. I ain't moving. And guess what? I wouldn't have moved either. I don't give a shit if I'm in the quote-unquote student section. I paid to come in here. I paid full price, unlike these little shitheads, these ungrateful, spoiled little brats. I ain't moving. Fuck you. So he refuses to move. Next thing you know, he gets arrested. And this is just emblematic of what's happening there. And then, of course, we have in Hull. Right. Hull is just like, I mean, I have a lot of good turtle riders in Hull. But as we saw there from the story this week, we had another scandal there involving the superintendent. We know now that this guy has a long and documented pattern in history of trying to fuck his students. His former students. I apologize. Former students. He sees them when they're younger at Norwell and Hanover and then now in Hull. And he kind of grooms them. And he's like, I'll remember that one. I'm going to send him he probably writes down when their birthday is. Knows when they turn 18, knows when they turn 21, sends them a little message. Hey, I was in the area. Oh, I see you're down in D.C. You want to get some of this D.C.? I mean, you want to get a drink? You want to get a drink real quick? We'll talk about, your life and how things are going and stuff like that. And they're like, yeah, sure. Whatever. This guy was a mentor of mine. I looked up to him. Sure. Come on. And that's what the 21-year-olds are thinking. The adults thinking, boom, 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 boom. I'm going to fuck the shit out of you. Like, that's what he's thinking. I'm going to fuck this kid senseless. But I'm going to think about 14-year-old him instead of 21-year-old him. I just can't. I couldn't fuck. I don't want to go to jail for the rest of my life, so I couldn't fuck 14-year-old him. But I can fuck you. Although this is kind of frowned upon, and this is why he always said, don't tell anyone. Don't tell anyone. But of course they're going to tell people. Like, I'm sorry, who wouldn't tell everybody that? You almost got, like, if your high school superintendent contacted you 5 years after you graduated, and then he tried to fucking suck your dick. Who wouldn't tell everybody? Like, who is going to keep that secret? Not me. I'm going to tell everybody. But, dude, you tried to suck my dick. You were my goddamn superintendent. That's fucking weird, man. Shit. Good Lord. See, we found this weird thing where it's like not illegal, but it's fucking strange, and we all know that this is unethical and wrong, right? We all know that. But we don't all know that. Because there's a lot of people in Hull, vocal people, that seem to have a problem with this that we're going to talk about in a moment. But the new scandal that comes up, and this is even more fucked up in my opinion, more fucked up, is that the teacher, a former teacher at Hull Middle School, in 2018, 2 years ago, she's teaching a class with like 6 kids in it. So right away, it's a class full of dipshits because no class, I know from experience, if there's a class with 6 kids in it, that's for the fucked up kids. Those are the kids that cause problems, right? That need special attention, one-on-one. They don't do well in big environments because they can fuck around more and blend in and not get caught. So right away, they're dipshit kids. So they're in 8th grade, they're shitty kids, and they're having some kind of, I didn't really understand what was happening here. There's some sort of online situation where they email quizzes to their parents, I guess, probably to show them how they did on the quiz. So there's proof of it. There's a receipt. One of the emails used is like Bebop Magoo, I think, at Yahoo. And the kids are talking about it. That night, she goes home, checks her email. She got an email from a Bebop Magoo. It's a fucking kitty dick pic. And it's very obviously that's disturbing. And she knows it came from a student. She knows which student it came from. She's able to figure that out pretty easily. It wasn't that hard. And no pun intended. And obviously now you're going to bring that to the principal. And I would expect, even at Shepherd Hill, I would expect that student to be reprimanded. I would have raised hell. I'd be like, dude, this kid sent me a dick pic. You're going to write, like, you're going to suspend this child, or I am going to tell everybody, everyone. I am going to call up. I'm going to yell "Me Too" so fucking loud your head's going to explode. So this all happens, and it brings it to the school resource officer, who refuses to look at it. Refuses to even look at the email because he doesn't want to see kitty dick pics. So I guess she'll just look at it, I guess. I don't know what happens to this officer when he goes to crime scenes. If there's like a dead body in there, like, ooh, I'm not looking at that. That's fucking gross. Nasty. So he refuses to look at it, and they question the kid's parent, and say, can you bring your cell phone in? Which obviously gives them time to fucking scrub it. They go through it, and see, no dick pics in here, blah, blah, blah. And that's the end of that. Meanwhile, they have like pretty fucking solid evidence it's this kid. They bring it to the union. The union grieves it. A grievance process involves an attorney, and they bring it to the school committee, and they state their case, and nothing happens. The school's policy is like, let's just sweep this under the rug, because guess what? We're not hiring this teacher back anyway because of quote-unquote budget cuts, right? Because it's a small town, Hull. There's probably budget cuts a lot because the population is shrinking, and thus the school population goes down. So yeah, that's that's unbelievable to me. So I go on on a lot of these whole Facebook pages, and a lot of these people are covering up for the superintendent. Now, in fairness, they're not doing it necessarily because they like enjoy little kids getting fucked and dick pics and blah blah blah. It's because they don't like Turtle Boy. It's because they're just like, they refuse to admit that I published a real story, that I actually spoke with victims, I spoke with people who were affected by this, that people, to acknowledge that this story is true, right, that this is legitimate, is to acknowledge that people come to Turtle Boy when they want a story told. And that's what they fear more than anything. They don't want Turtle Boy to be legitimized, to be seen as a force for good. Because if people are coming to us with their problems and they need help and they're being sexually harassed and blah, 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 then Turtle Boy is all of a sudden the good guy. And that is the last thing they want. They want Turtle Boy to be the villain more than anything else in the world, don't they? So that's happening. They're all, covering this up and saying, well, we can't trust it because the media hasn't reported. How is the media not reported on this? Maybe it's not that big of a deal. I don't know. I think it's a big deal. And I'm sure some of you feel that way too. But the most recent post I saw today, let me see if I can pull this up. I don't want to pull up on Fupa Computer because it'd be so slow. Let's see here. So this is what, let's see. This is what this is what some guy writes. James Ballou. Let's give him a call in a moment, shall we? I'm gonna go right there. I am going to add him on Facebook, and I'm gonna call him in a moment to see what he's got to say. So let's go. So this is what James Ballou says here from Hull. Okay. He goes, so correct me if I'm wrong. The allegations as they stand are that a man who works in the school system has been outed for making sexual advances towards former students. I believe this is the basis of the current scandal in our schools. Furthermore, in the past, a young boy sent a lewd photo to a female teacher, and the faculty, in conjunction with law enforcement, failed to crucify this young man for his heinous and unforgivable crime, sarcasm included. I grew up in the age of Catholic Church sex scandals. I earned my secret keeper badge in Boy Scouts. I understand that the protection of our children is the highest priority for our educators and police. Let's continue to investigate the facts and reserve our judgment for a time when is that I'm not going to crucify this young man for a quote-unquote heinous and unforgivable crime. In other words, no big fucking deal, right? It's like, who gives a shit? Like, boys will be boys. I was a kid too. I did some fucked up shit, blah, 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 blah. It's like, but it is a big fucking deal. Like, how the fact that people can think that it's like, oh, just boys being boys. You send a picture of your dick to the teacher. That's fucking insane. That's a crime. It's not a small crime either. This whole idea that dick pics aren't a big fucking deal is insane. Insane. You don't send a dick pic to an unwilling party. Period. It is fucking sexual harassment, like, of the highest degree. It is much worse than saying you got a nice ass or, you look good today in person. Sending a picture of your dick digitally over the interwebs is as bad a form of sexual harassment as you can possibly get. So, yes, it is a huge fucking deal. So the fact that people are making it out, oh, boys will be boys, it's like, that is fucking the problem. And I don't know why it is in Hull. Why? So I don't know. You tell me, what's the more fucked up town right now? Hull or Andover? Because they're both, every time I read this, I'm like, wow, I think it's Andover. Personally, I think there's redemption for Hull. I think that most people in Hull are outraged about this a little bit and upset about it, whereas in Andover there doesn't seem to be any outrage, and people are happy, and the school committee keeps getting elected again. So people are all saying Hull. People are all saying Hull. I mean, the Hull scandals are all sexual. They're all sexual, right? Whereas the Andover scandals are all like just straight up, just snot-nosed kids being disrespectful to, adults, essentially. So, also, let me talk about this other chick here. Let's find her. Who's the one today that came on here? Let me find her. There was a post today, and you got to read this comments. It was just too priceless. Let me find Turtle Boy. Sports Forever. Okay, there it is. I posted the screenshots on the page. Let me read this to you. This woman's name is Katie. What's her name? Berkeley? Katie Barkley. Katie Barkley. Let me read her posts. So Katie Barkley says, I think I'm just going to write a scathing article to expose Turtle Boy. Maybe people would like to know why this person is no longer a teacher. It's a fucking great idea. Somebody should write a book about that or something. That's a fucking great idea. Let's see what I can dig up on them. Oh, I know a great primary source that you can find on Amazon.com. But I'm not going to tell you what it is. She goes on to say, oh, the turtle's already been poked. I say, let the coward step forward. It's a great point. I should do a YouTube live show or something with my face on it. Something. Or I should go to events, physical events, and be present and let people I know I'm going to be there ahead of time. Or have court dates and tell people that I'm going to be in court. Imagine that. I should do something like that. That'd be fucking crazy, right? Holy shit. So she goes on to say, let's start off by why he's no longer a teacher. Let's fucking dig. And the collusion with other teachers. So now I colluded with other teachers, I guess. I don't know. Who knows? Oh, I don't know if she's accusing me of being the voice for teachers who were sexually harassed. I guess is a bad thing. I don't know what she's getting at there. Can't help it. I'm inquisitive. I have so many questions. I would love the opportunity to interview Turtle Boy. I think that's great. So I messaged her and I said, let's talk. And she was on the page talking shit, posting comments, writing all this stuff. And I messaged her and I'm like, let's go. Let's frickin' do it. Let's have a conversation. She messaged me back around noon today. And all she said was, let's see what she says. She's ended up blocking the Turtle Boy page after talking all this shit on there. She says, okay, when and where? Now, she acted like she's like, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to do it in person. It's like, no, Grandma, this is not how shit works. And we don't drive to each other. I would drive to you, but, family and shit. Why not just do it electronically? We can just talk on Skype, Facebook, whatever you prefer. And she was not understanding this. So she has since blocked the Turtle Boy page. She has not blocked Cynthia. So we're going to call her momentarily and see what's up. But let me just read the rest of these messages here that she posted. She also said, Jennifer Altman, by the way, great job defending the wall today. She says to her, so he has spread smear to people with his scathing opinions. It's amazing no one has taken him to court yet. Imagine that, guys. Imagine someone took me to court. Oh, fucking boy. I would shit my pants if that ever happened. Thank God no one has ever sued me or filed a frivolous criminal complaint against me. That would be the end of me. I'll tell you that much. And yet this person is educated, and I hope for the love of God they didn't educate any of our children. No, I didn't educate your stupid kids. They wouldn't have done well in my class, trust me. TB is not only the most poorly written thing on the internet, but also the most inaccurate and biased, inaccurate and biased journalism ever. Ooh. And if I had to guess, I would say Turtle Boy followers are also inaccurate and biased. So all you, shots fired at you guys too. And I hate to guess, I would say, and I don't have the mental power to read something they don't agree with. Okay? Please tell me what this person's mistake was and why they are no longer a history teacher. It's garbage and an insult to journalism. So she goes on to say, and I'm putting together a class action lawsuit against Turtle Boy and need 22 other victims to join. please feel free to message me. I have a lawyer and a police report and going to probate tomorrow. Let's take this garbage out. At least tie him up in court with legal fees. I mean, this is one of the greatest posts of all time, guys. And this is brilliant. So let's start from the top. She's putting together a class action lawsuit. So in the last couple hours of the day, she is this, even though we hadn't blogged about her at this point, she's going to do a class action lawsuit. And she's spoken to a quote-unquote lawyer, and there is a police report available somehow. She went to the cops about this, and she's spoken to a lawyer, and he's like, yes. And she asked him, how many other plaintiffs do we need for this class action? And he said, we need exactly 22. Not one more, not one less. Go get me 22 plaintiffs and a police report, and this is a done fucking deal. We are going to take the garbage out. And I would also advise you, client Katie, to go on Facebook and say that the stated purpose for doing this is to tie him up in court and drown him for legal fees. That's very important. Very important. Because we would not want to make this seem like it's a frivolous lawsuit. We wouldn't want to make this seem legitimate. We want to make this seem as frivolous as possible, basically. That's what a good lawyer would obviously tell her. So she's got this massive class action. She's looking for 22 other victims, quote unquote, to message her and do that. So that should be interesting. Why don't we give her a call right now, folks? What do you think? Let's give her a call. All right. Let's see. Oh, it's ringing. Oh, no answer. She hung up. Call her again. Come on. Hi. Come on. How do I do this? Where's this thing? Get out of this sticker. I hate when you press the button and all of a sudden you get the emoji stickers. Like, I don't want to do any of that shit. Just fucking call. I want to type. And you fucking hit one button. Oh, she's calling. She video messaged me and then hung up. God damn it. God damn you. We're going to call again. I'm going to call again and see if we can get her. We got to get her on, guys. We got to get her on. Missed video chat. Yeah, return call. Let's return call. Come on. Open sesame. Give it to me. Give it to me. Come on, girl. Allow it. How do I do that? How do I do? I don't want to. Give me a break. All right, let's just call her then. Please allow camera. Okay, Katie Barkley. What's this? What is this? Calling her back. No, don't message, guys. Don't message during the show or your freaking comments come up. You don't want that to happen, do you? Do not message during the show if you have any sort of privacy interests. You should know that by now, guys. Turtle Boy Live every Tuesday and Thursday. If your shit pops up during the show, I cannot control that. So just know that. Let's see. Okay, so she just sent us photos, so that's good. Where'd it go? Come on. Fucking FUPA computer, I swear to God. Oi. Come on. I'll just call her my fucking phone. I don't care. Let's see what happens here. Let's get her on the video. Come on. How do I fucking video chat here? Did that option go away? How the fuck do I video? Did she block me from videoing? Okay, here it is. It's up top. All right, we're calling her. Done. Let's try it on the computer now. Did she block me? Am I blocked? This bitch fucking blocked me, I swear to God. You cannot reply to this conversation. But yet it let me do that. How come I can't call on here, but I can call on here? How does this make any sense? She called me. You guys saw that. She called me back. So this is like completely fair game. I mean, these people, they talk all this shit about you. They tell you all that, you're awful. And they're like, yeah, let's talk about it. And then they cut. Oh, where you hiding, turtle boy? How come you don't show your face? Fucking tough guy, pussy, you scared. Well, here's my face. Here I am. All of a sudden, no one's around anymore. Funny how that works, isn't it, guys? Funny how that works. These fucking cowards. It was never, ever about anonymity. That's one amazing thing I've learned about this. It was never, ever about the anonymity. It was always just about them trying to have some kind of trump card that they could play on you. And their trump card was always, you're scared, right? You're not, you're never going to show your face. All this shit. But here I am, and now they got fucking nothing. They run, and they hide, and they're cowards, and they talk shit, and they make shit up, and they try to smear us, and guess what? We don't back down ever. Ever, 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 ever. Ever. So, yeah, Ashley was there and taunting with me. Nobody showed up. I'm like, here I am. Hours just sitting there. Come see me. Hello, I'm right here. Nobody comes, ever. Really disappointing. So, speaking of disappointing, our good friend Hadassah Rose is back, and I got something in the mail yesterday. She has filed a criminal complaint against me for wiretapping, of all things. Now, I have not read the affidavit yet. I'm going to call Uxbridge Court. I don't know why it's in Uxbridge Court. She lives in Milford. There's a court in Milford. I've been there with her before, but actually Uxbridge is a little bit closer to me, so that's a little bit more convenient, so I really don't mind it. I've been there many times for the Gaffney lawsuits. They have a nice little 2-room courthouse there. So I will be going down to Uxbridge on March 24th for a criminal complaint hearing with a clerk magistrate for wiretapping. For the record, I have never wiretapped her ever. All right, I don't know what's going to be. I have to read the affidavit to see what she's even talking about here. So, but whatever it is, it's ridiculous. I'm sure we know that, because who is there? Any Turtle Riders listening right now who are in court on August 29th with Hadassah Rose, and did you see the show that she put on? Do we all remember this? I mean, if you weren't there, I feel bad for you. It was Oscar worthy. Like, she got up there in a courtroom full of people, mostly Turtle Riders, and cried, and and Your Honor, the Turtle Riders, they're doing this, Your Honor, they're coming after me, and I'm just trying to run a women's shelter, and they're being mean and harassing me. Oh my God, I'm gonna cry every night. It was just such nonsense, and the guy's just like, what do you have? What did he do to you? Did he harass you? Well, no, but he wrote about me. Well, so what? He has the right to write about you. What are you talking about? And it was dismissed, and I won. And so I have a feeling this is just going to be just as stupid. I mean, why is she waiting 6 months to bring this forward? 6 freaking months. It makes no sense. So I graciously look forward to my day in court. This is harassment. Hadassah. That's a good point. That's what we should call her. Mega Mortis. Hadassah. I don't know if that's a typo or not, but it's a great nickname. I like that. Hadassah Rose. She is coming to Uxbridge with me, and we are going to settle this, hopefully once and for all. I almost forgot about Hadassah. I haven't written about her in a long time, but if she wants to come back in the limelight, so be it. So be it. And by the way, her daughter, her creepy daughter, who went quote-unquote missing, remember that a while back? I messaged her during this whole thing trying to get a comment. She messaged me a few weeks ago on Clarence, messaged me back. but I was suspended and I couldn't respond. By the time I got the page back and wrote back to her, she had blocked me. So she must have realized who I was, put two and two together. It probably was hidden in her friggin' filtered messages or something. And here we are. Call Jennifer Altman, you said? Was Jennifer here? I mean, does she want to talk? If anybody would like to call up and talk about this, you can call up the Cynthia Marie Sanchez Facebook page, and we can have a call-in. I don't have a call-in line like the Bristol show, but we do have Facebook, so feel free to give me a call. If not, we're going to go to some Ask Turtle Boy. Any questions you guys have, feel free to ask away. Ask away. What are you guys talking about? A balance? What's a balance? Oh, the rank. Thank you for reminding me that. I got to follow up on that. Thank you for the reminding. I'm going to get that. I promise. I promise I'll get that. Eddie, man, you had the chance to co-host the show. We wanted to call you in. You blew it, man. You missed your opportunity. Any chance the yoga court date is Thursday? I don't know what day of the week it is. And like I said, I do not want a crowd for that. I just want that to be done with and taking, because that's the one that worries me the most, is that Yoga Poon one. And so the motion for that is on. It's not like a joke. Like the Hadassah one's a freaking joke. Ryan Waters is a joke. I wouldn't mind crowds for that. But this one is like fucking scares me a little bit, you know, because these people are so rich, and rich people can do anything that they want in this country. Anything. Look at Mike Bloomberg. What's on the agenda for Thursday? We'll see what happens in the next 2 days, my friend. We'll see what happens. Let's see. What else we got here? Would you want the Bruins to trade for Joe Thornton? I hadn't really thought about it much, to be perfectly honest with you. I'd have to look at our needs and shit. I don't really know. How good is Joe? Is he 40 now? You really want him? Let's see. What else we got? The guy that we don't like a balance. I thought he was good. He was really good. I thought he did some good stuff on Abrams. No? Did I get that wrong? I thought he was on our team. No? I thought he was a good guy. I thought we liked him. Thank you, Casey. That she puts it perfectly. The Azadnia case is as much of a joke as any other lawsuit, but they have the money to drag it out forever. Exactly. That's what makes it serious. They have money, right? Well, money can do anything. Anything. Yeah, so I don't know what people were talking about a balance for. Let's see. Alan Gordon says, you guys suck for not liking what I did in the news at the Trump rally last night. What'd you do, man? What'd you do in the news at the Trump rally? What'd you do? That was so newsworthy. What am I supposed to like? I'm going to be honest with you. I'm a little bored with the auditor people. I've been over them for a while. Abrams is the only one that really interests me because he's just such a criminal and such a vile, evil piece of shit. And he's a showman, so at least he's entertaining. But I didn't even want to write the blog today about what's his name, Bucket Boy. I just did it because I thought it was funny. Joe Biden kicked his ass. If Joe Biden didn't kick his ass out, I would not have written about it. These people it's like punching down. Literally, you are picking on retards. That's what this is. These people are so fucking stupid and attention hungry that's why are we giving them attention again? Well, it's I think they're fucking stupid. Kerry says, not a question, but a shout out. Unc, you're doing a great job. Oh, well, gee, thank you very much. Appreciate that, Kerry. Thank you. Do you worry if Bernie gets a nomination? Yeah, because a socialist will have a 30% chance at winning the White House. I don't want a socialist to have any percent chance of winning the White House. What if the economy crashes and people get desperate, right? And they vote for fucking Bernie. I mean, that could happen. Jesus. But no, what scares me even more is like Amy Klobuchar getting the nomination because she might actually win. That'd be really bad too. We don't want them to win. They can't win. Did he do a bucket boy at the Trump rally? I don't know. Yeah, call in, Alan. Call in if you want. Just call on Facebook. You're Cynthia Marie Sanchez on Facebook. You just message me. We'll call in. I mean, the amazing thing about the bucket boy thing, the only thing I found interesting in that is that he was like 5 feet away from the vice president. I mean, a former vice president. Like, if he wanted to, he could have just fucking bum rushed Joe Biden. How is a situation like that even possible? You could not do that at a Trump rally. You could not get close enough to Donald Trump and be unobstructed that you could bum rush him and tackle him if you want to. You couldn't do it. For some reason, you can do that with Joe Biden. I don't get it. And they're just like, they saw this fucking huge dude, and they're just like, yeah, we'll have fucking Jill on it. She'll take care of him. She'll kick his ass. Trump is worried about. Trump ain't worried about shit. Ain't worried about shit. Trump wasn't even worried about Hillary. And Hillary was like fucking, like she was going to win. She should have won. And he wasn't worried about her. I was worried about her. I mean, I assumed she would win. When you get it for the first time, like I always wondered about that with candidates. Like when does Amy Klobuchar get Secret Service, you know? Does Andrew Yang get it? Does Tulsi get it? Probably not. Like does I assume Bernie gets it, right? You can't just go up to Bernie Sanders, can you, and like touch him and shit? You can't do that. Are you done with Kylie? No. I mean, we're done with our investigation of Kylie, but the investigation of her by the Napa police is ongoing. And I can't really say too much about that, but it is ongoing, and I am anticipating an arrest. I think if I had to bet whether or not Kylie Kirkpatrick will be arrested within the next couple months, I would put it at like 80%. That's how confident I am that she will get arrested. Amy Klobuchar will never win. She's a nobody. Amy Klobuchar just doubled up Pocahontas. Doubled her up. Got 20% in a state that Pocahontas borders. She doubled up Joe Biden, right? If you're sleeping on Amy Klobuchar at this point, you're doing it wrong. Like, she is a legitimate threat now to win the nomination. I'm telling you. Thank you, Johnny Mac. Trump doesn't wear glasses because he got 2020. I like that one. I like it. All right. Any other questions? Yeah, when you search for Turtle Boy on Facebook, the Turtle Boy is racist page comes up. It's like we got 6 members, I think. I've tried to join that group many times. It won't let me in. Alan's trying to call, he says. Let me see. Is he in my inbox? Let's see. Oh, there he is. Okay, so Alan, I just responded to you, right? I just responded to you. So now you got to call in. You got to hit that call button. I mean, I could, but as you can see, Fupa computer here. Okay, he's calling me. Come on, pop up on the screen. Let's see. Where is it? Here it is. Don't hang up, Alan. Just keep calling. Give me a second here. I got to hit the answer button. Come on. Fucking Fupa computer. Here we go. Alan Gordon. Think we're connected. Let's see. Facebook call. See if he pops up. or not. Oh, here we go. Allow. What the fuck is this shit? Start call. Yeah, let's see. What the fuck's going on? Start call? How's this work? Now it's saying missed call. Okay, I'm going to call you, Alan. And you answer. We don't need to do the video aspect of it. We can just talk. Because the video is going to fuck it up. Let me change my microphone too. Hello? Oh, look who it is. All right, let me set.
Did it work?
Yes, it did. Let me just, I am going to change my audio setting to put you on so people can hear you.
All right, let me set.
All right, and turn the volume down at your end.
I'm going to change my audio setting to put you on so people can hear you. All right, let me set.
All right, you ready there, Alan? Okay.
You caught in a feedback loop.
What was that?
Sounds like you're caught in a feedback loop.
Yeah, just turn the volume down at your end. That's all.
I'm all the way down, and you're caught in a feedback loop.
Okay, we're good. We can still talk. So, what's up, man? So, what'd you do last night that we want to talk about?
Yeah, just turn the volume down.
I'm all the way down, and you're caught in a feedback loop.
Okay, we're good.
Can you hear me?
So what'd you do last night that we want to talk about?
Oh, Reverend Ann and I went to the Trump rally.
What's happening right now? Dude, you got to turn your volume down. There's no way the fuck is happening right now, guys. What is even going on? Guy, you have to turn your volume down. You are completely failing right now. You have to turn it down. You clearly do not have your volume down. What is he doing now? What is happening? What is happening right now?
You have to turn it down. You clearly do not have your volume.
What the fuck is going on? What the hell is happening? Yeah, I know. We all like to. I remember my first fucking bowl too. Hold on. Oh, sweet Jesus. All right, hold on.
Yeah.
Can you just call? Oh, sweet Jesus. All right, are you going to say anything or what?
I dare not. It's going to get said like 10 times if I say it once.
All right, talk. Go ahead.
Are you going to say anything or what?
You can obviously hear yourself. I can hear me and you on your computer. Bro, I'm pro-cannabis.
Let me call you.
Yeah, go ahead. Okay. Yeah, you might have smoked yourself retarded. Just call me. Don't do video. Good God, guys. I love marijuana, but that's like a commercial for like, this is what fucking pot does to your brain. Holy shit. What the hell was that? Good freaking Lord. I'll give him one more chance. One more chance. And then we're going to hang up. I mean, he said he had all the volume down, but clearly he did not. Or just turn the stream off. You don't even have to have the stream on at all. Just talk to me, you know? Jesus, guy. Okay, I'm going to try him one more time. If this doesn't work out, we're calling it a night. Yeah. I mean, it was like talking to like, what are you doing? Like, just turn the fucking show off. I mean, have you guys never heard people call into the radio before? The first thing you tell you is, turn your goddamn radio off. The fact that I can hear myself talking means it's on. I don't know if you know that. It's clearly on. Or else, what the fuck am I hearing? And it better not just be like, oh, I got kicked out of the Trump rally. It's like, congratulations. Who hasn't gotten kicked out of a Trump rally? Like, everybody gets kicked out of Trump rallies. Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
I had to turn your show off. Now I can't see the comments. Maybe I can just turn the
You
sound
don't need
off.
to see the
and I can
comments. What do you need? You can see the comments afterwards. It's live. It'll all replay. So what did you do? Tell me what you did.
Well, I went to the Trump rally with Reverend Ann Armstrong.
Yes.
Dressed in our Mary robes the way we usually do. And we sang Christian hymns at everybody that was going inside. And we had our pot socks on and our pot hats on. But we're saying Christian. And we got in the Boston Herald. And they even reported that we had a QAnon shirt on underneath our robes and everything.
You're into QAnon?
Well, QAnon follows us.
QAnon, aren't they like a hardcore conservative alt-right thing? Or no? I don't even know what the hell QAnon is.
Yeah, they love us. They love freedom of religion. They love weed. QAnon posted this song one time for an Anon's wedding called Green Mind that's all about weed. QAnon's all about some weed.
Okay. So, what did you do that's that interesting that we should talk about besides sing hymns and people outside the event? What did you do?
Well, we got in the Boston Herald. We got our own article.
That's not interesting.
In the Boston Herald.
That's boring.
Just by going to the Trump rally, that's hard to crash the Trump rally and get your own article.
How did you crash it? How'd you crash it? You said you stood outside and you sang songs. It's not crashing it.
Well, I don't mean crashing it, but the news is that Trump was there, actually, not that we were there, but yet we got our own article. That's actually pretty impressive.
So the story that you wanted to call in and tell me is that you stood outside of a Trump rally, you sang songs, you didn't go in, and then the Boston Herald interviewed you. That's the story.
Yeah, I guess you had to be there. It's probably not as good as Jill Biden throwing that big guy around.
I mean,
but it's something.
It's on the same level, I guess. I gotta be honest. This is disappointment. I thought you were gonna have like a crazy story to tell me.
I do have a crazy story to tell you. If you got 30 seconds,
I
was gonna wear a bull costume and put this big diaper on it, and then stuff the diaper full of lumps, and then have the CNN logo across the back of the diaper.
Okay.
So it looked like bullshit when then CNN. And so I had this giant oversized diaper in my bull costume, and we're in the Walmart parking lot, and Ann Armstrong's in her Wonder Woman costume. Now, she's a grandmother of 15 kids. She's 6 years old, and she's wearing this Wonder Woman costume with the all red boots and a little micro skirt, stuffing balloons down the pants of a diaper of the guy in a bull costume. And the Secret Service is all over this before the rally. And then she was going to whip the CNN bullshit bull with a whip, so it was going to be Wonder Woman, except the bull costume, the horns kept flopping back, so it just looked like a naked black dude in a diaper with a big, lips like a blackface thing.
No, I don't.
It looks really, really.
I'm not visualizing this whatsoever.
Imagine me in a big giant plush bull costume that's black, and the nose ring just looks like lips, like white lips, like on a blackface costume, and the horns. Plush horns of the bull have fallen down behind the back, so they're not sticking up. So it just looks like a black dude in a blackface costume wearing a diaper, which is what? A tar baby. It's as racist as could be, is what it looks like. That's not what it was supposed to be, but then she's got a whip. Wonder Woman is whipping this big black baby in a diaper. So we decided that wasn't a good idea because we would have got arrested and people would have attacked us and said we were racist. That wasn't what we were trying to do, but we almost did with this shit, with this shitty diaper. It's a good thing we didn't get in the news doing that. They would have taken it the wrong way, huh?
Yeah, totally. That's totally misinterpret whatever that is. It's a completely understandable thing to. Yeah, definitely. So I don't know I have no idea what any of that means. I don't have any fucking clue what you're talking about. I'm not going to pretend to do something about blackface and a nose ring and a diaper and a whip and Wonder Woman and 15 grandkids, and I'm completely lost. But I'll take your word for it.
What are you talking about? You smoking high, dude? What are you talking about?
Oh yeah, I'm the high one here. That's a good point. Come on, man. I like marijuana just as much as anybody. But has it ever occurred to you that you might smoke a little bit too much weed, my man?
University.
That kind of makes it worse.
A recent one.
Yeah, that kind of makes it worse, don't you think? It's like a better case.
But it's the only private university in England. It's from Rothschild's money.
As my good friend Dave Chappelle once said in a famous movie called How High, you have smoked yourself retarded. I mean, you might. I mean,
well, God bless you.
Yeah. Well, anyway, thank you for coming on
God
and sharing whatever that story is. I appreciate that, and good luck.
God bless you and the whole Turtle Boy family. Good night.
Thank you very much. Very much. We can all agree on that. Have a great night. Bye, Alan. All right, so that was an interesting call. Half Baked. What am I thinking? How High was the Method Man movie, wasn't it? That was Method Man and Redman. Half Baked. I apologize. All right. So, that was interesting, and safe to say we won't be doing that again anytime soon. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the show. It's a long one tonight. We actually started on time and ended a little bit past time. So we will talk to you guys all on Thursday night. All right. Peace, Auto Riders.